Hey friends, it's Sarah, and I'm back with a quick getting started setup video for Brother's free arm 6-needle PR680W. This is one of my favorite machines from Brother, and I could not operate my business without this machine. The free arm capabilities allow me to embroider crazy things like hats, socks, shoes, you name it. I can get it on this machine because I don't have to lay it flat like on a traditional flatbed embroidery machine. I could slide it around this arm here, and I'm able to embroider all kinds of tubular things. So in this video, I'm going to take off the tape for my brand new machine. I'm gonna plug it in, and I'm gonna show you how easy it is to set it up and get started. Let's do it. All right, so here's my power cord. Now, my machine is on the PR stand, which I have a separate video all about, and I highly recommend having one of these stands. It has 4 wheels, it has 4 shock pads, and it has 2 wheels that lock. So you're able to really secure your machine when you're working at as fast of a pace as this machine can stitch. It's really important to be able to make sure the machine is secure, that it's not going to vibrate off your table and fall on the floor and break, because that would be really freaking terrible. So I highly recommend having this stand, which is made specifically for this machine and Brother's other free arm machines. And this way you know that your machine is secure and nothing terrible is going to happen while you're stitching. The other great advantage about being on wheels is that you can easily move it around your home. This machine is actually really quite compact. It's only 23 inches wide. The table makes it a little bit wider, but I used to have one of these in my apartment in Brooklyn. I think it's really amazing that you could fit a semi-industrial machine in such a small space. And then with it being on wheels, you're able to just roll it out of the way when you need to, or roll it into the middle of your studio when you're working like I'm doing today. So you can see I don't have a lot of arm muscles, okay? So you can trust me when I say that it's very easy to maneuver this machine on the stand. So I just spun it around here, and what I'm going to do is plug in my power cord right back here. Make sure it's nice and secure. Unravel this, and I'm going to plug this into my wall. Next up, I'm going to remove all of the styrofoam and the blue tape, which is holding my embroidery arm in place right now. So if I were to turn this on, the embroidery arm would not be able to move, and that would be bad. So I'm going to remove all the tape. On the top here, we have some cardboard that is securing our thread stands, our spool stands, and our thread guides. Took me a second to think of that terminology. So you are going to need your screwdriver for this part. And luckily enough, you did get a screwdriver in your accessory kit with this machine. There's a screw right up top here that's holding your thread guide down. It's holding it down for shipping purposes. And it fell. So you want to loosen it, probably not as much as I just did. When it's loose, you're able to lift your thread guides right up. Once you have this lifted up, you can retighten that screw. All right, so here's that screw right there that I was talking about. So it was up here, I loosened it, I lifted my thread guides, and now I retightened it right down here. At the top here, You have another screw right here that you want to loosen. See if I could do this one-handed. Yeah. So we're loosening that, and what it's doing is separating these two pieces right here, so we can slide this thread guide up into place. Need to loosen it more. So we slide that right up into place, and then I'll be able to retighten this screw, and I'm going to do the same on this side. Now we have those locked in and tightened. The next thing we're going to do is open up these thread spool stands right here. Opens up like wings. I'm going to slide my screen out of place here, and then I'm going to try and loosen this screw in the middle. Let me get a different screwdriver for that. All right, so I grabbed this multi-use screwdriver to put in this screw here. I'm going to just loosen it up nice and easy. And then, whoop. Okay, so it goes right in here. So when you loosen it, you're able to open up I call them the wings, the little thread spool stands here. And I open them as far as they can go, and then I'm just going to re-tighten this screw, give it a good tight with your multi-use screwdriver. And there you go. You have your thread spool stands and your thread guides all set up and locked into place and ready to go. Okay, so the next piece that you want to get ready is your screen here. So if you are going to be the primary user of the machine, I recommend just standing in front of the machine, getting a feel for where your head is. You don't want to be looking up or looking to the side. You want that screen to be perfectly adjusted to your height and the level of your eyes, so you can see it really easily when you're working on this machine. So again, there are multiple screws back here. Turn this a little bit more. And what these are going to allow you to do is move the screen forwards and backwards. Right here, these allow you to move the screen up and down. It tilts it. So just play around with these until you get the settings that you like, and you get your machine, or your screen rather, in a perfect position for you. All right, now my screen is in place just how I like it. All of our tape is off, our thread guides are up, so we're ready to turn it on. The power button is right back here, and I already plugged it into the wall, so I'm going to switch this on. So you get these beautiful screensavers that come up when you turn it on, and you can go into your machine settings and have these screensavers turned off if you'd like in the future. To get started, I'm just going to tap the screen. I'm going to select my language, which is English. It's going to calibrate the embroidery arm. I'll press OK. Now I'm going to set the clock. All right, we can set that. And we're ready to go. It's as easy as that. Select your language, set your date and time, and you're ready to use your machine. So just a basic tour here for you guys. These are all of your embroidery categories. You have embroidery designs. There are subcategories in there. You can select any one of those. And this machine is very intuitive. It works kind of like your phone or your tablet, where you can scroll with your finger, you can tap, and do all that fun stuff. So it's really easy to look at those designs. You can edit the size of the thumbnails if you'd like them smaller or larger, depending on how good your eyesight is. You have your frame pattern combinations, which are standard on many Brother machines. There's 140 of them. You have your buttonholes and buttonhole decorations. I will say that these buttonholes are very, very large. I think the smallest you can get them is about 3 inches. Oh, and I'm noticing right now that I'm in millimeters and I don't want to be in millimeters. So I'm going to go into my settings and I'm going to go to, let's see here, measurement, change it to inches. Now we're in inches, and you can see this buttonhole is 4 inches wide. No idea what you would use that for, but they are quite large. And then you have your monogram fonts. This is really cool. You can create your own monogram, choose the layout that you want, and then you can select each letter for each part of the monogram. And in a second, create your own monogram right there. You also have monogram frames that are made specifically for this font. Then you have your standard fonts. There are, I think, 32 of them in here. There's 40 of them, excuse me, 40 different fonts in here. There's so much to choose from. Typically, when I have a client who needs a font in their project, I don't have to go outside of this library to find something that they're happy with. So it's a really great tool to have as a small business owner in particular. And then you have your floral or decorative, collegiate, your Greek alphabets here. These are so fun. My favorite is these little, I call them like the quilting alphabets, because it looks like a beautiful little quilt block there. They're really cool. So lots to play with there. Down here, these are your memory categories, so you can save any designs that you create to your machine's memory. It has quite a bit of memory in here. You could also save or retrieve designs from one of 2 USB ports that are on the side of the screen here. You can connect directly to your computer with a wired connection. You can also connect wirelessly. When your computer and your machine are set up on the same wireless network, they can speak to each other and send designs back and forth. So to set up your wireless, you would select down here, and you would run your wireless setup wizard, connect, again, make sure you're connecting to the same wireless network that your computer is connected to. And it's super easy to do that. So that's it for setting up the PR680W. Hope this video was informative and you feel ready to set up your machine and get started creating. Check out my channel for more setup videos and lots of fun content about embroidery and brother machines. See ya.